Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic through and through. We want to welcome you to this platform here today, regardless of what your addiction may be. You are absolutely welcome here. We support your pathway to recovery, and whichever pathway it is that you choose, we are here to help, and we definitely want to make sure that it works for you. If you're watching us through our Recovery Classroom Facebook group page, we want to encourage you to share your own experience, strength, and hope, your own words of wisdom. You never know who needs to hear what it is you might have to say, and it could just change someone's life, including your own. Real quick, the panels we did yesterday, it was so much fun, and I actually sat on the panel, so I got to answer the questions rather than asking the questions, being the guy who asked the questions. And I want to thank you guys for coming out and sitting on that panel and having those questions being thrown at you. You know, no preparation. You had 60 seconds, sometimes less, to answer those questions. And I really believe that the clients there at the 28-day facility, I really believe they get a lot out of that. So thank you guys. And special shout out to Matt. He had a ton of questions come in yesterday, and he was on point from start to finish. Matt, you just did an incredible job. And the more I think about it, the more I see, you nailed this, you nailed that, you nailed this over here, So I don't know, just very, very proud of you, Matt. You did a great job. So speaking of questions, why are questions important? I've talked about that before, how, when we're trying to learn something, we're going to need to ask questions. Flat out, we're just going to need to ask questions. And so that's why the QA panel, I think, is so important. And a couple of questions came in yesterday that were asked, and I brought them home, and I was going through them again, and these really jumped out at me. One, am I ready, and can I control myself to take action on my second chance? Well, that's a tough question, loaded question, tough question, and I'm here to tell you, absolutely no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready, and I cannot control myself. See, that's step one. I am powerless over my addiction. My life has become unmanageable. And in just about any 12-step program, at least for AA anyway, they always say, out of 12 steps, you're going to screw up a lot of the steps, but you got to get that first one right. And that's step one. That's the only step I have to get right each and every single day, that I am powerless over alcohol and I cannot manage my own life. That's it. If I get that right, I'm probably going to screw up the other steps, and that's okay. That's okay, but I got to get that first one right. And so even today, coming up on 2.5 years, even today, I'm still absolutely powerless over my alcoholism. I cannot control my drinking. I cannot manage my life. And that's where I found, my higher power, if you will, to do that. So, and then the second, when they said my second chance, for me, as I shared last week, this isn't my second chance. See, I've already blown through my second chance, my third chance, my 1400th chance. This is my last chance. I firmly believe that this is my last chance. As I said last week, July the 7th of 2021, that was my day 2. I firmly believe God was telling me, I want to see how serious you are. You've given me all these foxhole prayers. Oh, God, just get me out of this. Just get me out of this, right? I've done all these foxhole prayers. And God said, to me, I believe, God shared with me, instilled in my heart, that He was removing all of my BS excuses. He knew all the bullshit excuses I was going to throw, and so He said, "I'm going to take away all your excuses, because I want to see how serious you are about trying to better yourself, trying to get better, trying to help me help you, if you will." So, a short answer to this question: no, I'm not ready to, and I cannot control myself. And that's the beauty of this 12-step program that's always that first step. And as long as I get that first step right, I've got a lot better chances of making through my day sober. I am sick, and when will it get better? Well, I will never get better. I'm always going to be sick. Several people made that comment yesterday. I used the example of an allergy. If I have a peanut allergy or seafood allergy, and I eat, peanuts, I'm going to swell up. All these symptoms are going to manifest. They're going to hit me with an EpiPen. The symptoms will go away, but the allergy is still there, right? The allergy is still present, and I will have that allergy for the rest of my life. The symptoms may go away, but the allergy is still present. And so in that regard, for me, my alcoholism will always be there. It's a permanent fixture to my body, to my physical body, to my DNA, if you will, right? It's permanently ingrained in my DNA. I'm never going to not be an alcoholic. It just won't be. Now, I can be a recovered alcoholic, just as you can recover from a peanut allergy or, a seafood allergy. You can recover from the symptoms of the allergy, but you still have the allergy. And I will always be sick with my alcoholism. That allergy, my alcoholic allergy, will never go away. And it will get better when you decide to take that first step. That's when shit starts getting better. That's the first step. And the journey of 1,000 miles, it all begins with a single step. And that first step is to admit that we're powerless over alcohol. How do you know your point of desperation? That was another question that came in. How do you know your point of desperation? That was really stark to me because I had reached a point of hopelessness. I shared, I think it was last week, how my parents, as growing up, my parents always tell me, God's got great things in store for you, blah, 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 blah. He's got this kind of life and blah, blah, blah. And come, early of 2021, I couldn't see any of that. I couldn't see anything at all. All I saw was despair, hopelessness, depression. I saw no reason for even living in early 2021. So, that was my point of desperation, where I knew that I was going to die by mid 2021. I knew that I was going to die, and it was probably going to be dying from cardiovascular disease, a heart attack, stroke, something like that, because all the damage I had inflicted on my body. So I knew I was going to die, and I knew that I was going to have to argue with God for him to let me into heaven. And I knew the first question he was going to ask me was, did you try everything? And I was going to have to be able to look him in the eye, look God in the eye and say, yes, God, I tried everything. And then he was going to call me on my bullshit, right? He was going to say, did you really try AA? And I would have had to say, no, I didn't. So in in early July of 2021, I said, I better give this AA thing a good old-fashioned, honest try. So my point of desperation was just the point of realizing I had nothing left to live for. My life had zero meaning. And I shared about that yesterday too, how that's one of the beautiful things about sponsoring folks is seeing that light going off in their eye and seeing that person that you're working with, seeing them find meaning in their life. Because I remember when I thought my life had no meaning, my life had no purpose. But now today, it does. And I couldn't be more blessed. So with that being said, I will let you guys go. I hope you guys have an absolutely kick-ass Sunday. I hope you guys have had a great holiday weekend, a safe holiday weekend. I want to encourage you to continue being safe. I also want to thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys watching every morning, this keeps me sober. I promise you it keeps me sober, and I could not be more appreciative. So thank you so very much. My family appreciates it too. If you have a topic you'd like to have discussed, if you have a question that you might want to throw out there, feel free to drop it in the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page. It's a private group. So there's still that anonymity. You can email me directly, drew@soberschool.org, DREW @soberschool.org. Also, invite your friends. If you think someone out that might have a problem with alcohol or drug addiction, invite your friends to the Recovery Classroom. What's it going to hurt? What do they do? What's the worst that could happen? They say, no, thanks, that's not for me, and they move on. You at least made an effort. So invite your friends to the Recovery Classroom, because as I say every morning, you never know who needs to hear what it is you might have to say, and you never know who might benefit from what you might be doing in their lives. So definitely want to encourage you to do that. With that being said, I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys have an absolute kick-ass Sunday. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.